comes and takes the rockets out to the launch pads, it would go down these. Each of the gravel beds is for one set of the tracks for each side of the crawler. It would span the entire expanse of this entire crawlerway here. We are going to head on out to pad 39B out here, which is going to be the launching pad for the Space Launch System. And so we'll go out there and talk a little bit about it. But just to give you a little bit of background and everything on the way that launching and everything works here, what we've done is set up a system that's actually pretty mobile. And so we take a crawler, which is basically like a jumbo truck, and we load up on top of it a mobile launch platform, which is like a tabletop. And we go and we set those down wherever we need them. So inside the high bays, there's a set of legs. We sit down one of the tabletops on top of that, the mobile launch platform there, and we stack a rocket on top of it. The crawler comes underneath of it, picks the whole thing up off the legs, carries it out to the launch pad, sits it back down on another set of legs, back out at the launch pad. When we get out here, you'll notice that pad B doesn't have any big towers or anything on it. It's relatively clean, as they call it. It's a clean pad design. And that's why inside the high bay you saw there, the entire tower stacked on top of the mobile launch platform. And so that's one design for building a rocket. When we go out and visit the pad that SpaceX is using, you'll notice there's a big tower in the middle of the pad next to the rocket. And that pad and everything about it is part of a different type of design where the tower is actually out of the pad, and we take the rocket out and then mate it up with a bunch of umbilicals and gangways and things like that in order to access the rocket and so on from that main central fixed service structure out there.
Come on, focus.
Yes.
Wow. There it is, Falcon 9.
Dude, what is going on? Oh my gosh. I always have it turned on. That was a go away.
Oh, really? This is amazing.
It won't let me tag anything.
I feel like I'm on holy ground.
So as we are approaching the pad up here, take note of the 3 tall lightning towers out here. It's part of the lightning protection system around the pad. Florida is a very active lightning area in this part of the world. So as a result, we want to make sure that the lightning ends up striking the lightning towers rather than a rocket sitting on the pad. One of the neat things to notice when we get out here, though, if you look really, really closely at the sky and adjust your eyes just slightly, you can see there's a bunch of wiring between the different lightning towers and everything. And in between those is a nice big pentagon-shaped area where the rocket will actually fly straight through. So it's threading a needle a little bit here. So something really neat to go take a look at. Other things to notice while you're out here, you'll notice that we've got all of the different tanks and everything for everything from water that's going to be for the sound suppression system out here to the actual rocket fuel. Things like liquid oxygen and those sorts of things are out this way. If you look online, the rain deluge system that's part of the sound suppression system and everything, there's some really incredible imagery of some of the testing that's been going on. If you look on your right over here, you'll see two of the deflectors from the flame trench. Those are used to put in the flame trench to deflect the flames away from the rocket and point them in the direction we want the flames to go in a controlled fashion. And so give us a minute here, we'll get all checked in and then we'll head inside.
Then I'll turn it on. Because when it's on, your engagement goes out. Oh, that's right. Your engagement is less when it's on, but yeah. Me too.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
How are you? Fine, Honolulu. Welcome to Complex 39B. 39A is occupied.
That's weird. Yep. Never do this. Nice. Yeah. What?
Heard the magic school bus? This is what it really is.
This is
Yeah.
if somebody asked you if you want to get on a rocket, the automatic answer
Are we on that pad like this? And it's absolutely I'm all, that would be really awesome.
We'll make fun stuff.
There's SpaceX Falcon 9 with Dragon crew on it. That's what we'll be seeing.
These things don't turn on a dime.
It's wild.
Dragon that Hershey car.
Okay, apparently we're going to get out and give you guys an opportunity to look around.
Oh my God.
I will caution you. This area over here is about 50 feet deep. Do not go
Is this really?
over. Do not. I started to say, just be extremely careful if you get close to the rails over here. You can go pretty close and look down, but be very, very careful, okay? And anytime you see a roped off area, do not cross it. This side over here is a pad slope, and it goes down pretty steep. So don't get too close to that. These little white boxes you see are TV cameras.
There's worse ways to go.
For launch. The tower that you see right to your left is one of the lightning protection towers. There's 3 lightning protection towers. That's number 2. Number 1 is on the northwest. Number 3 is on the southwest. At the top, you will through that trapezoid. and that's the plan. That's the plan. And what it's there for is to protect the vehicle, not necessarily personnel, but to protect the vehicle from lightning strikes. Take it to a down rod into the ground, away from the pad area. Also, there's a big spear you see over here. That's what knock down the vibrations, so we don't get as much vibrations back to the vehicle, which will cause damage. So feedback to the vehicle. Let's see what else. Also to your left over here, you'll see a great big oxygen engine. On this side of the pad, there's an oxygen sphere. We're also building a new with hydrogen in order to do a quick turnaround. If we have a vehicle scrub, we want to be able to support a 24-hour turnaround. So that's on the pad. I'm sorry. So that kind of gives you a little broad brush. Oh, if you go over to this side over here, just be careful.
I will ask for more.
I know, yeah.
Part of
They're
flame
fireworks.
direct.
They keep the structure from burning up from down underneath the pad surface up to the vehicle, and then go over, and that's where they connect over there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And if you guys look over here on your right, there's a bunch of trip hazards off the ground. Make sure not to trip on them. Please, please, please. Don't touch anything while you're out here. All right? We're going to be out here for about 15-20 minutes, so get some photos.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So I have a viewer that is a 10-year-old that is asking about underground tunnels underneath the launch pad. If there's any underground tunnels, and what do we do?
There are underground tunnels, and what they do is they take the electrical miles from here is where the launch complex is.
Okay.
And it takes signals from the vehicle over the launch complex and back and forth. That's where the command.
And on the bus, they mentioned something about a flame direction system.
Flame deflector?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is over here. You'll see that. It's a very large metal. When the vehicle takes off, all the flames will be going up to the north, not from the south.
Gotcha. So there's no flames that go through any underground tunnels?
Nope.
Or... Okay.
No. Billowing up out of this flame fence right here, and also to the north.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
plates are about 3 inches thick, like that thick, each one, and they are about, as I recall, they were about 8 feet wide and about 10 feet long.
Gotcha.
I don't know
Wow.
how many thousands of pounds they are
Oh,
each.
yeah.
And those gray things on the top is where the water comes out and provides the sound suppression.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
So it's the rock is sitting right here.
No, sitting right here. Never gets
Oh, it's strapped.